Okay, any doubts from the previous session? Any others? Would you like to ask any doubts from the previous session? Okay, let me take it as no.
Mm, Actually, I'm new in this video, in the first session in this.
Okay, no problem. So try to cover your backup classes.
Sure.
Okay, so let's start for today's session. So in today's session, we'll cover about. So yesterday we have talked about formulas. Any doubts from the formulas? Okay, so if not, no problem. So please try all the functionalities. Okay, try with all the functionalities and let me know. Like in case if you need any help in any one of the functionalities, we can discuss it. Okay, so in today's session, we'll talk about validation rules. Okay, so validation rule will help us. Okay, um, will help us to insert the correct values in the database. Okay, so this is the main purpose of validation rules. So before inserting the record, okay, if you want to do any type of validations, we can do by using validation rules. Okay, so by default, Salesforce has given some standard validations. So we'll see what are those standard validations as Salesforce given. For example, okay, if you take any standard objects or any custom objects, right? Any standard or any custom objects. Suppose when you try to enter any record, right? So if I try to save this, okay, it's showing account name is mandatory, right? We need to complete the account field. Okay, so this is the validation which you did not add. By default, Salesforce has given some standard validations. Okay, this is one of the standard validation. And for example, if you take website, right? I'll just fill this. If you take website, okay, it's saving. So website is actually validation is not there. So if you want to add validation, you can add it. Okay. So ignore about the website. If you take email, not email will not be there here. Okay, one second.
So
Only
you are not
this.
audible.
So am I audible to others?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Right. So let me go to contact object. Okay. So because if I go to
Hello.
contact, yeah, I can hear you. I think everyone can hear my voice.
So you are
What?
not audible.
Who is that person? Can you please try to rejoin? Please rejoin if I'm not audible. Okay, so suppose take that contact. Okay, I have a contact here, and this is the email, right? I'll just give simply test. Okay, so it's showing by default you have entered an invalid format. Okay, this validation not given by you. Okay, by default, Salesforce will do some validations. Okay, this has to be like this, any at symbol and then dot symbol. At symbol and dot symbol it will validate, and then it will allow you to save this record. Okay, and here this is the date data type. Okay, so by default it's having data type itself having some standard validations. Okay, hope it's little clear. Okay, so let's move to the custom validations. So the first validation what we can do is, mm, we have so many functionalities in validations. However, we have in formulas. Okay, we'll do some um, random functionalities. We'll just do some random functionalities. Okay, let me take the first functionality. I'll take is blank. Okay, so is blank is a functionality will help us to validate, okay, whether the field is blank or not. If the field is blank, okay, then system will return true. Okay, so this is the first functionality how to use is blank that we will see. So we'll go to client our application itself. So we'll go to candidates. Okay, so in candidates, what are the fields we have? Okay, go to trainers. Okay, so suppose say that, okay, so this can be saved. Okay, this record can be saved without giving the email ID, right? This number, this can be saved without giving the email ID. Okay, so I want to create a validation. I want to just validate before saving this record. You have to enter the email address. Okay, so so many times this question will come in your interview. Okay, so try to remember it. How to make um, how many ways that we can make a field as mandatory. Okay, first way that you know very clearly, right? Okay, so while creating the field, okay, if you check the box called required, right? If you check the box required, if you just enable the required box, that field will become mandatory. Okay, the second way is validation rules. Okay, so we have totally five ways. The third way is you can make a field as mandatory by using page layout. Okay, fourth one is triggers. Fifth one is VF pages. Okay, so these are the five ways that we can make a field as mandatory. So we'll see these three. Okay, first one you already know. So second one we'll cover it today. Okay, so we will make this field as mandatory by using the validation rules. Okay, so go to edit object, and here you can see there is a last option called validation rules, right? So select new. Here you can type trainer email validation. Okay, so if you want to give any description, you can give it. This rule will validate whether the email trainer email field is blank or not. Okay, so whatever you want to make understand your developers, you can type anything in the description, something which is meaningful. Okay, so however we have formulas in yesterday's session, right? In a similar way, we have all the formulas here, right? By using the formulas only, we are going to do the validation. So is blank. Okay, so is blank is a functionality which will help us to validate the field. Okay, so is blank we got inserted. Okay, so for example, I'll tell you how it will work. If this box returns true, right? If this box returns true, okay, then it will get validated. So I'll just type test message. This is the place where we can throw the message. Okay, so however it's throwing the message here, right? However it's throwing the message here. Okay, so if you give save here, it's throwing no, we hit a snag. Okay, so this message can be thrown by using this error message box. So if you just return true, okay, this message will be thrown. Okay, this is what here it is defined. Okay, we'll just check it out. So nothing is there. Okay, as of now it's returning true. Okay, whatever you do, this test message is showing, right? Whatever you do, it will show because in all the times it's returning true. Okay, now we need to change this condition based on our requirement. Okay, so what exactly I told you regarding the is blank, it will return true. Okay, if the field is blank. Okay, so is blank. Okay, it will return true if the email field is blank. Okay, select the email field. I mean, supply the email field inside the is blank functionality. Okay, hope it's clear. And then select check syntax and change the message. If you want to display the error at the top of the page, you need to display the and you need to select this. If you need to display the message on the field level, right? If you want like here, if you are not giving anything, here field level there is one message is there, right? So field level, where exactly you want to display the message? I want to display under the email field. Okay, save it. So now, okay, we'll just cancel it and we'll just edit this. Okay, and we'll try to save it again. So you can see, right? We hit a snag and this is the error message that I have given it. All right. So without filling this email field, you cannot able to save this record. Okay. So hope how his blank is working, right? Okay. Next one. We'll see is null. Okay. Is null is also similar to is blank. Okay. If the field is blank, then it will return true. Okay, this also will do same thing, but what is the difference? Okay, so if the field, okay, Here there is a condition. If the fields are any number fields, okay, any number related fields. If you take currency, right, it's a number related fields. If you take percentage data type, it is a number related field. Number is also a number related field, right? So if you take all those things, these are all number related fields. Okay, so is null will work only for number related fields. It will not work for other fields. Okay, so here number related fields, mobile is not a number related field. Why? Because mobile can able to accept any type. So for example, test at 1, 2, 3, 2. See, plus 9, 1, right? Okay, see whatever you type, it will accept. Mobile is not a number data type because mobile field has to accept. Okay, this plus has to accept, and then there's some brackets needs to be accepted. This number needs to be accepted. Okay, and some hyphens needs to be accepted, right? So that's why mobile this phone data type is made like a text data type. Okay, so here, so yesterday we have used this input number, right? Okay, we'll make this field as mandatory by using is null. Okay, so go to the object, search for validation rules. Okay, select new. This is candidate number validation. Okay, you can fill anything in the description. So is null, right? So is null of input number. Okay, so I'll just give again complete this field, display this one on the input number and save it. So now we'll just check it out. So if you remove the number, if you try to save it, right, you will get the issue. So if you want to test it, you can test it for is null, you can test it for text fields. Okay, you can just tell me what is the error that you are facing it. Okay, so hope you got the difference. What is the difference between is null and is blank, right? Okay, so this is the second condition, and next one, what we can see, right? Mm, 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 mm. Similarly, I want to check, this is state, right? I want to make this as mandatory. How can I make it? So this field, I want to make it as mandatory. So state, I want to make it as mandatory. How can I make it? So can we use the same procedure how we have done it last one? We'll try to do it. So go back to candidate, create one more validation rule. This is candidates state validation, right? So I'll use is blank because is blank can able to accept everything. Either it may be number or it may be text, it can be accept everything. And I'll just supply state as a input, right? And then again I'll just mention complete this field. You have to enter the state. Okay. So now we'll just check the syntax. We'll come to know whether it is correct or not. So here you can see there is one. error. Pick list fields are only supported in certain formats, right? So is blank, okay, what is blank will do? So I'll just tell you. So inside is blank, you need to supply the type of expression. Okay, expression is kind of text, right, or number or anything. You have to supply the kind of expression. Okay, but state is not a expression. State will contains multiple values. Okay, so if you want to convert this state as expression, okay, what you have to do is, okay, first you need to take the data type called text. Okay, here it's clearly mentioned converts a value to text, okay, using standard display format. Okay, so insert it and then replace this, and then you need to supply entirely inside this. Okay, now this pick list field is converted into text. Okay, now this will validate. Okay, see, you can see no errors found, so save it, and I'm selecting none, save. Okay, so it's showing, right, you have to complete this field. Okay, so far it will be clear. Okay, the next one is, so text, what it will do, it will converts the value to text format. So this is the third one. So fourth one will do logical, like and or not. So and or not, you must be already heard earlier, like in your education time itself, right? So we'll see how and or not will work. First of all, if you want to work with and or not, you should know the table. Okay, so first this would be A column, this would be B column, this is and example, this is or example, and the next one is not example. Okay, so consider this is A column, right, and this is B column, and this is A and B, right, and this is A or B. So you can consider any one of the for not. So I'll just supply not A. If you want, keep not B. Okay, so how it will work, that we will see. Suppose take this as true, okay, and this is true, false, false. Okay, so true, true, false, false. Okay, and the next one condition I'm taking as true, false, true, false. Okay, so this is common. Okay, this is common for all the logic. Okay, so as per the and, okay, as per the and, how it will work is, okay, and will check and will check both A and B. Okay, if both are true, okay, then and will return true. If both are true, and will return true. Okay, if any one is false, it will return false. Okay, hope it's clear, right? In a similar way, okay, if you take or if both are false, okay, if both are false, it will return you false. Okay, otherwise it will return you true. Hope it's clear. Okay, not is exactly reverse of A or exactly reverse of B. If you mention not B, it is reverse of B. So I have mentioned not A. So A is true, true, false, false. So B obviously it would be, I mean not A obviously it would be false, false, true, true. Okay, so this is how the logic will work. So first you need to understand this logic. If A and B, if both are true in AND function, you will get true value. Okay, if both are false in OR function, you will get false value. Otherwise, always it will be true. Okay, now we'll see all these three functions at the same time. Okay, first one, what I'll do is, mm, let's go to the state validation. Okay, I'll just rename this or along with state, right? I want to check this field also whether is mandatory or not. Okay, or instead of getting confused, right? Let me delete all. Okay, I removed all the validations in the candidate. I will create new validation. Okay, I'll just common name, I'll keep it as candidate validation. Okay, so here what I'm going to do is I'm going to check both the conditions. Okay, like in candidate, I don't want email field should be blank. Okay, I don't want also fees field should be blank. Okay, both, if it is both blank, then I should get error. Okay, if both are blank, if email and fees both are blank, then I need to get the error. If anyone is filled, no issues. Okay, so in that case, what we need to do is we need to take and. Okay, so in and, you need to supply logic 1 here and then logic 2 here. If you want to check additional logics, you can keep on supply. Okay, I don't want to check the third logic. Two logics is fine for me. Okay, the first logic is, okay, here I need to give the logic 1. The first logic is blank. Okay, so is blank of email. Okay, also fees is a currency, right? I really don't need to use null. I mean blank. I can use directly null. Is null of insert fees. Okay, so now you can check the syntax. So here inside and logic 1 is blank of email, logic 2 is null of fees, right? So complete, or you can give your own message. Please fill email and fees to save this record. Okay, you can give your custom message that should be based on your client. Okay, whichever the message that client is requesting you to populate, you have to populate those information. Okay, save it. Now go to this. Okay, now both are blank, right? Both are blank. Let's cancel it first. So I'll just make fees also blank, email also blank. Okay, save it. Here you can see, right, your message. Please fill email and fees in order to save this record. Okay, so hope it would be little clear. Now the same, okay, for example for or. Okay, so example for or, what we can do, if anyone, either you have to fill. Okay, in this case, right, in AND case, if you fill either email, okay, either email or fees. If you fill any one, this record will get saved. Okay, that is what and. If both returns true, then only it will return true, or else it will return false. Okay, so this condition I am slightly modifying as we have an or, right? Or also you can see there is a similar syntax, right? Similar syntax. So I'll just do a little modification, change this to or. Okay, so just save it. Now you can find already this email is filled. Okay, I'll just try to save without fees. Okay, so you can see, please fill both. Okay, you can just type the message whichever you need. Please, in order to save this record, you have to fill both this. Okay, you have to fill both the values. So, okay, so if you fill both the values, then only this record can be saved. So far it's clear, right? Okay, any doubts? Right. So now I'll just slightly change the requirement again. Okay, for not. Okay, so for not, what I can do is if, okay, if um, email is entered, okay, then fees is must to be filled. Okay, hope this use case is clear, right? So for this is not,
Yes.
for not, this is the example. In case if you filled email address, okay, then um, your fees should be mandatory. Okay, only the case is if you are not filled email address, right? If you are not filled email address, you can save this record. But in case if you fill email, okay, if you are not populating the fees, then only we need to throw the error. Okay, for that, okay, there is a simple change in this. So here, what exactly you need to check, if the email is, okay, if the email is filled, okay, if the email is filled, and then if the phone, I mean, sorry, if the fees is not filled, right, then we need to
Okay.
get the error. Okay, so just you can do not, okay, and you can supply this logical inside this. Okay, so this will work, and this will not work with or, this has to be with and. Okay, you can see clearly now. This is not blank of email. Okay, if the email is not blank, okay, that means email is filled. Along with that, if the fees is null, right, then we need to save the, and we could not, I mean, we need to throw the error. Okay, please enter fees information if you already filled the email address. Okay, so this is the case, save it. Okay, now go here and we will check. So first, I'm not filling email, I'll just save, right? So it is validating. And the second one is I'll try to populate some emails, okay, and save it. You can see, right? This error is coming. Without populating fees, you cannot able to save this record. If you entered, email. Okay, hope this is little clear. Okay, so till now, any doubts we have seen so far? One, two, three, four, five, six functionalities. So any doubts with these six functionalities? Hope all the functionalities are clear, right? Okay, that's fine. So that's all for today's session. I have covered some six functionalities. So based on these six functionalities, okay, you can easily learn the other functionalities. So if you want to learn other functionalities, as usual, I have explained yesterday, right? You have to click help on this function and you need to do the search, right? So yesterday I told you, suppose for example, mm we will use this for so many times. Okay, in real time, this pick val will play a major role. Okay, so for example, if you select this, it will not come for time being. Okay, so copy this functionality and then paste it. Okay, is pick val invalidation? Okay, so here you can select either developer forms or you can either select this documentation. However, I have explained yesterday, try to use the same logic and check the example and learn it. Okay, in case if you are not able to understand any functionalities in this, yes, yeah, you can just bring those functionality to my notice. Okay, so I can able to teach that one. So that's all for today's session. Let me stop.